Welcome, and this is What's Your Message conversation with show hosts and people who have YouTube channels and other kind of shows they are running online. And we have today with us Dr. Rahjiv Naidu. Welcome, G.
Thank you, Azeeza. Thanks a lot, Azeeza, for inviting me. Yeah,
Yes,
thanks a lot.
thank you.
And
And Dr. Rahjiv is a very, very interesting personality. He is a new life educator, integrative wellness therapist, counselor, trainer, and most interestingly, and that's a conversation we'll be having today on his show, which is all about core somatic integration lifestyle. And I mean the whole thing. He's a therapist for that space, and he has done amazing work in as a trainer at the California Hypnotherapy Institute of India. He's into Tai Chi, Qigong trainer, and past life therapist. But the main focus that he always talks to us about, and he has been in our other programs as well, is on core somatic integration. And today's conversation and his channel is about that. So thank you so much for the amazing work you do for humanity.
yes, thank you, Dr. Azeeza.
Thank you. So I want to ask you, what inspired you to get online, get onto the YouTube channel and to start a channel like that?
Okay, so I would do all the work on my own and see a lot of clients and post the work that I have started with Core Somatic, which is completely about, which is a new way of applying therapies which are much effective and very quick in results, even in cases where people are suffering from so-called incurable diseases, chronic conditions, and major breakdowns in their lives. I started finding that people got to get more aware of this. How can someone be utilizing an effective modality that can heal people very quickly or put them on a path where they can start healing themselves? So that was my intention. And I saw that just if I did it in local areas, then it was like a small number. And people nowadays, they are more interested in finding modalities or finding ways or having tips and techniques which is easy to apply. Yeah. And also building a sense of self-awareness. And that is what core somatic integration does. It brings in a sense of self-awareness, a sense of mindful awareness, and which also enhances one's life, at the same time puts them on a path of healing. And it's a very healthy or scientific and most effective therapeutic modality. And I wanted it to reach the world so that they can apply these modalities with a lot of ease. So core somatic integration is it's an integrative wellness therapy. It's a body-centered integrative therapeutic approach, which works beautifully well and very quickly. So that is one of the intentions, that most of the people should start applying this modality. So that is one of the reasons.
Fantastic. And I know that this whole progress that you did with the online presence with your work, who are your target audience for this work that you do and the outreach on the channel?
So the target audience is anyone and everyone, because it can be applied to anyone and everyone, uh, even to a small child who's just newborn and few months, to the most senior citizen on this planet. So it can be applied to anyone. Once you start knowing how to use this technique for your own self, then anyone and everyone can start using this. So my audience is the whole universe. But I specifically focus when I'm teaching, I am looking at anyone above 18 years of age so that they start understanding it. But once they learn it, I've seen mothers applying it to the small kids, even newborn kids, and having the results. And of course, even
Yeah,
senior citizens applying it for their major diseases. So, but while training, it's 18 and above.
18 and above. And who have you naturally attracted on your channel? Do you know who are the people that naturally gets attracted to your
So
work?
most of them are people who are interested in personal transformation. So these are the people who are actually looking for an internal shift that can bring about an external shift in their environment, in their world, and not only in a particular area. It can be it has to impact all the areas. Like we talk about personal relationship with oneself, that is impacting the relationship with others, also the wealth
Mhm.
area and the personal health area, and bringing about peace and happiness in their lives. So all the areas start getting impacted. So the audience is varied, but generally I've seen that people generally from the age of 25 to 50, 55, like 60. So that is the kind of audience who comes in to my channel.
Fantastic. So this is a very, everybody must be wondering, like in detail, if you can give us in further depth of what core somatic integration is all about and how it is impacting people, because, it's going to be very important for people to know how that can support them in their life.
Yes. So core somatic integration is a body-centered integrative approach. Yeah. So it's a therapeutic approach, but at the same time, it can be used just for bringing in self-awareness. That brings about the kind of healing. So my basic aim was like when I go back some long time back, at least 15 years back, and much before that, I was suffering from my own problems. Like I had severe anxiety, panic attacks, irritable bowel syndrome, severe cramps in my body, having severe headaches, a lot of problems with my sleep. I also went into depression and
Right.
all those things that were happening. And I just couldn't find anything that could bring about. And severe loss of energy. Loss of energy means I am exercising, I'm doing martial arts, I'm doing Tai Chi, but somehow the energy depletion was very high. I would get tired very easily, and at the same time, I wouldn't get sleep. So that was the time when I started looking at something that could help me. And with the kind of panic attacks I had, I started being with myself for some time. And then I noticed that there was a change happening every time I just allowed myself to be with myself, with whatever is happening.
Hmm.
And this started, and then I started developing this understanding that it is not just me, but there is a sapping of energy because there are so many disintegrated parts which are coming right from childhood because of the kind of childhood I've had, and people have it. So there's so much of disintegration in my own self, and these are different thoughts that takes away my energy. And then I started, as I observed, I started experiencing the integration happening, and slowly my energy levels started going up. I was much more clearer, much more within myself. And I could see the healing happening. My depression, my anxiety, my panic attacks, and my cramps, and my that all started vanishing. My
Right.
sleep came back. And this is exactly what core somatic integration does. Core somatic integration is a modality which I can call as a mindful awareness modality and a therapeutic modality, which is very, very scientific in its approach, which brings about the integration of the disintegrated parts of in a person that
Wow.
leads to higher self-awareness, self-enhancement, and brings about a sense of harmonious living with the environment around you, including people around you. So that is what core somatic does,
Wow. That's
and brings
exactly. Go
a
on.
sense of wholeness within you, a sense of wholeness within you, a sense of feeling perfect within yourself in whatever conditions. And that's what actually pulls me every moment, or that is what inspires me all the time, that how can I spread this to people. So that is what is the project.
Yeah. So because what you are saying is exactly what's needed in the world right now, because
Yes,
everybody is feeling a less than, a lack of, as it is, it's a internal conversation that people keep having about not enough and all of that. And definitely this is a conversation that we can take for a long time, understanding more about, human mind and human spirit and all of that. So, in your context right now, when your viewers are watching this video, or even your customers who come for your events and programs that you conduct, what is the transformation or some of the values that they receive from the program?
so as I mentioned, the first value most of them get is a sense of internal harmony,
Hmm.
a sense of internal peace, a sense of internal connect with themselves. They start feeling connected with themselves. They start feeling that there is a part in me where I can feel safe and secure within myself. So that's the
Right.
first thing that they start experiencing. They start feeling a sense of stability. They start feeling a sense of security. They start feeling a sense of safety within themselves. And that brings about a harmony. And that slowly they start seeing that it exudes, that energy exudes around, and they start seeing a shift in the relationship around them. And that brings about a harmony in the relationship because there's a sense of clarity in the way they think. Because there's so much of awareness of what's happening. So instead of getting into a reactive mode, most of them are getting into a responsive mode. They are much aware before making any kind of reactive or impulsive move. And that brings about a sense of stability and harmony within themselves. And that spreads around. And that also in the relationship and then also shows up in their work, where they start
Mm.
feeling a sense of okayness at work. And also we have seen that there's a shift in the wealth creation, prosperity, because it all we all know that it all starts within oneself.
Yes. Yes.
So that's where it is. It's all within. Like charity begins at home. Like it's all in here. There's nothing out there. So the
Mhm.
main thing is about shifting everything inside, so that there's a shift out there in the world for them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you so much. So tell us, what is your plan for 2021?
My plan is the same plan that I always had. I think this is a plan that I've carried right from childhood. I still remember when I was 5 years old.
I love it. Can we just stop there for a while? Did you just say that your plan is not
Yeah,
disturbed by what happened in the world? This is like a
yeah. I didn't get that.
no, everybody is like, oh, I have changed my plan. My plan didn't work. I'm changing everything. So now you're saying you have a plan that's been around all your life. That is very, very
Yes,
refreshing. Tell us more.
I was just yeah. So when you ask me what's your plan, so the first thought is that there are no plans because I when I practice, it's all about being in allowance of what's happening. So what I've learned from Course Somatic is just being in allowance of what is, because there's a bigger plan that is always there in place. At the same time, the bigger planner always has that, like you do some work for yourself because you got to do some work. So I allow that to happen, including the way I look at my clients, the clients flow in, the way my workshops go. But I always believe there's a structure in the no structure that is there. And the no structure, which I believe in, is the bigger planner who does all the work for me. So I would say there's no plan, but the plan that I have is right from childhood. Like I still remember this. I would give you an anecdote. When I was a kid, around 5 to 6 years old, and I saw a person, a labor, who was digging the ground, and it was hot, very hot afternoon. And I saw him sweating, and I was just wondering, why don't I go down into that hole where he's digging? And I should also take that instrument that he has and start digging with him so that I can support him. And
Oh
when
my
I
God.
grew up and I became a counselor and a therapist and doing all this, I just realized that it's the same dream that I follow, that how can I support people in having a better, bigger life, and just supporting them so that they can load off that burden from their shoulders, and I can have them see a way which is much more easier and effective in having that harmonious, much more peaceful, a happier, a joyful, and a life where you are related to oneself and everyone around you. Yeah, a sense of oneness and unity. So that is the and that's what brings about the plan. So I wouldn't say that there are big plans, but there is a plan in place.
Wow, that is so beautiful. And this is where we are looking at, people committed to a
Yeah,
cause above yourself. And that's where all the clarity and the progress happens
it
naturally.
just it just goes in. Yeah, naturally
That's right.
and day-to-day basis.
That's right.
On
Thank you
day-to-day
so
basis.
much, Rajiv. Dr. Rajiv, can you tell us what is the message or a wish you have for everybody who are watching this program, especially, with all the work that you do?
So the wish I have for people is to to engage in how can oneself, like how can I, yeah, be a change within myself. that will bring about a huge transformation in the world.
Wow.
How can I bring
Everybody.
about that shift that I'm looking for in the universe by bringing about a shift in my universe, the internal universe, ongoingly, being very responsible and accountable for everything that is happening within me and around me, seeing the universe as an extension of what I am. So everything is falling in one place. It's like everything coming together. It's like a unity, it's a oneness, it's an harmonious experience for all of us. So I see myself in you, and I feel that you are in me. So that's where it begins.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. It's so
Thanks a lot.
beautiful and fulfilling. And I'm sure our audience are really loving it because of the kind of conversation this is going on. I'm sure they'll get onto your show and check out your channel as well to see how best they can get value from it as well. Thank you so much, Dr. Rajiv, for your time,
Thank you.
and thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you with another show host very soon. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you, Dr. Aziza. Thanks a lot.